Welcome back to part 2 of this lecture. In this section, we will discuss Kolb's 4-stage model of experiential learning. Kolb describes learning as a cyclical process that integrates immediate experience with reflection, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. In keeping with this, Kolb developed his 4-phase theoretical model, which highlights this process. He argues that learners perceive and process information along these 4 phases. Let's take a closer look at these 4 phases. The first phase is the concrete experience phase. This phase emphasizes personal experience. Adults learn best when the learning experience goes beyond the chalk and talk routine. And so learning by encouraging physical actions and learning that evokes strong emotional responses create powerful learning experiences that are not easily forgotten. But this requires an openness and willingness to involve oneself in the new experiences. The next phase is the reflective observation phase. Adults need to engage with and reflect on their experiences to glean insights and acquire knowledge. Learning by perception focuses on understanding the ideas and situations by careful observation. So it is important to not only create opportunities for experience-based learning, but also to provide time and space to encourage reflection. The learner is concerned with how things happen by attempting to see them from different perspectives and relying on their thoughts, feelings, and judgments in this process. The next phase is the abstract conceptualization phase. The success of experiential learning lies in the learner being able to decode abstract concepts from their reflections, to generalize these ideas, and realize the relevance of these ideas to their reality. It involves learning by engaging in deep thinking, using a systematic approach to structure and frame the phenomena. It emphasizes the use of analytical abilities to create integrative ideas and concepts from one's observation. And the final phase is the active experimentation phase. In this phase, the use of decision-making and problem-solving skills help the learner to integrate new ideas and concepts that were used throughout the process. Learners can engage in role-playing activities, internships, and other hands-on tasks that lets them apply the learning and thus learn by doing. It also includes active experimentation that leads to concrete experiences that then allows the cycle to start all over again. So the 4 stages of Kolb's learning cycle emphasizes the importance of adult learners' motivation to learn, the need for them to be actively involved in their own learning, their ability to reflect on experience, their use of analytical skills to conceptualize experiences, and the use of decision-making skills and problem-solving skills. The theory focuses attention on the nature of knowledge to be learned and the nature of the learning process rather than on the learner. So let's look at 2 examples of the application on experiential learning. The The first is learning to drive, and we are going to start at the reflective observation phase. So, you see a relative, your parent, or just a friend driving from you're a child, and in your head, you would like to learn to drive. And as you get older, you began to explore the road codes and the different rules of driving and learning the mechanics of driving. And then comes a time when you take your first drive and you begin to put into practice those things which you have thought about, which you have learned, and now you are experimenting with. And after that first lesson, that gives you enough information to reflect on again, and so the cycle continues. The second example comes from learning to teach, and we're going to start at the active, concrete, experiential phase. So you teach your first class, and then you spend some time to reflect on the lesson. And you may ask yourself some questions. What didn't work well? And why? And so this leads you to now think, how can I do things better? What new strategies for engaging my students are there? And how can I maintain a better class control? And so, having done your research, talked to your colleagues, you come up with some new ideas and ways of doing things. And then it's time for active experimentation. So you enter the class and you put into practice those new skills that you have developed. That is it for now. In part 3, we will look at some techniques to facilitate experiential learning, and then we will wrap with Kolb's learning style inventory.